McValue is a new way to experience your McDonald's must-haves and get more than you expect every single day, man. Here's how it works. Buy an item from the McValue menu and add an item for just $1. At breakfast, you can get a sausage burrito and add sausage biscuit for just $1. Or get a sausage McMuffin and add a hash brown for just $1. There's all kinds of combinations. Same thing for the rest of the day. You can buy a 6-piece McNuggets and add a double cheeseburger for just $1. Buy a McChicken and add small fries for just $1. And that's not all. The $5 meal deal is part of the McValue 2. That gets you a McChicken or a McDouble and a 4-piece McNuggets and a small fries and a drink just for $5. It all means you can do more than ever with your McDonald's money. Prices and participation may vary. McDouble meals, $6 in some markets. Meal deal for a limited time only. BOGO, $1 valid for item of equal or lesser value. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of I Hate the Homies, and we're glad that you do. Episode number 123, Rock Teasy is who I be.
Hey, it's your boy Griff, the first homie, a.k.a. Mr. Go Blue, a.k.a. Raider Nation, and I hate the homies.
And it's your boy Super Dave. Happy New Year, guys. Oh, my God. It's been a long time. Happy New Year.
Hey, right. You forgot to do because you got that Prince shirt on.
You got that Prince shirt. Let us see the Prince shirt. Stand up, homie. What does it say on it? Just
he is standing up. Look. You see how he stood up and he only went up about that far?
Right. Oh, it's a black and a white dove? Okay, I see it now. Okay.
Yeah.
This dude is a Prince fan, dog.
Hey, man, I can't disrespect Prince, man.
I'm not going to disrespect him. First of all, if you're not a Prince fan, then you don't know music.
Come on,
in real life.
Genius, musical genius. Okay, now he really
now that's when you just turned into now we hate you. First we was trying to be, look, we was being all respectful, you know, right. He a genius, and he pulled out the full-blown Boy George girl jacket.
You got the veil back there, dog. You got
that
the veil.
That jacket come with some lace gloves. No. That jacket got a little puppet on it from Purple Rain. That jacket come with the.
You remember that, don't you? You remember the puppet? I got it at home. I got that at home too.
Hey,
it's
man.
Boy Super Dave, but guess what, y'all?
We don't care. We ain't been on in a month. Hey, in a month though, I've been seeing your daughter. Let me tell you something. Hey, dog, I'm coming to your house for the WNBA draft party, dog. Your daughter is a whole problem. And what I love about her, she don't really push herself, but Harvard do.
Yeah. She well, you're welcome, bro, because we claiming all that. We're gonna receive all those blessings that's coming her way. She doing her thing. Conferences started up there in the Ivy League, actually in basketball season, college basketball all around. So this is big time of the season right now. This is very, very important. These games, they got to keep winning because they're in the Ivy League. So they rate them and grade them different because they're not a Power 5 conference. You know how it is. Strength of schedule, all that good stuff. So she got to run through this doggone conference so we can get to that doggone tournament as an automatic bid. We don't want to have to win our conference tournament to get in. We want to have 24, 25 wins on our record and get an automatic bid and possibly ranked by then. So there it is.
And in the last couple seasons, haven't they just been missing it by like a game or
Princeton and Columbia has been the thorn in the side for Harvard. So it's gonna be fun going through this conference this year.
And they went to the NIT last year, right?
No, they didn't. They sat out last year. They went to the NIT the year before and made it to the Final Four.
What did you call the NIT?
Nobody interested tournament.
Yeah, dog. Yep, that's some them courtesy games because you didn't make the big tournament.
But here's what's funny is the NIT was first, and then the NCAA one came later. So, people older than us was like, we remember the NIT when Jack Mason was getting triple doubles. I just made that name up. What's happening in this episode, dog?
Man, we've got college football national championship game. Ohio State, Notre Dame. I don't think any one of us picked this combination.
We'll talk about that. Yes, I hate Ohio State so much.
NFL playoffs stay in full motion right there. We can go ahead and put the Detroit Lions in the Super Bowl, but we'll discuss that as well.
Oh, is that how we feel?
No, that's all. Come on, this is what it is, man.
How we feel?
And Super Dave's favorite coach of all time, Deion Primetime Sanders, could possibly be his team's head coach. Dallas Cowboy Jerry Jones and him is having conversations. Now, we'll get into it, man, but I got some strong opinions on that situation right there. And we got a special guest, one of the greatest running backs of all time, Clinton Portis, will be joining the show before we get up out of here today, man. Matter of fact, we'll bring him on and maybe he can do our picks of the week with us as well.
That'll be sweet.
Absolutely. So let's get it popping, baby. Episode 123. Let's go.
Ray Duggar.
You done messed up, Aaron.
Yeah, huh? I've been geeking for this broadcast. Got me in my bag, cause all they do is talk a lot of trash. Wait until I see them face to face off of this podcast. What you gotta say now? Check the facts, don't have the wrong stat. Rock T, he a genius as a sport, make Ricky smile, boy. Super Davey Holly come up short on like it's Cowboys. Always controversial, grip call out plays, no rehearsal. Got me talking all in circles. I hate the homies. And Grip be laughing like it's funny. But they never bet no money. They my mans, but they throw me. I hate the homies.
College football national championship, man. Notre Dame versus Ohio State, the Buckeyes. I took my son to the Cotton Bowl. We actually watched Ohio State and Texas live.
Tell us about that.
Energy was freaking amazing. It was
until it wasn't.
Oh my goodness! How you get on the 1 yard line and can't score? Like, come on,
until it wasn't.
Well, this is your team. This was your team, Rock. This is the
team that I picked from day one to not only get to the championship game, but to win the whole thing, man. And
before we get into that game, because we haven't been on it in a few weeks. Remember the guy I told you about a few weeks ago about Cam Scatterboo? Remember that?
Yeah.
And when Texas played, we never got into it. But Scatterboo, what he did to Texas in that second half,
Scatterboo, a dog,
and they were
Scatterboo. They almost lost to Arizona State. And
let me ask you this, Rock. And I'm gonna ask you too, Greg, before we move on. The play in that Texas Arizona State game in the fourth quarter, right before overtime. I forgot the guy. Somebody got hit. Oh. The quarterback threw a pass from Arizona State to a receiver. He got hit. And the way he got hit from the Texas player could have been targeting.
Yes. That would have, yes. That was the play.
15 yards down the field. They kick a field goal, maybe to win the game. But was that a targeting call?
That's interesting because the rule is if you leave your feet, lead with the crown of your helmet, you go into to tackle a player. So he, even though his helmet was centered in his chest, it wasn't the crown of his helmet. So he didn't go in like a torpedo like this. His helmet was up. His face mask hit the chest.
He still went in like a torpedo, though.
And he did launch himself off the ground. So technically, it could. I think it was a judgment thing. It could have went either way.
They didn't want to see Arizona State. They didn't want to see Arizona State playing for a national championship.
I'm not mad at the call. I'm not mad at it. I'm glad it was no call.
Well, Arizona State was fun to watch. I couldn't believe what Ohio State did to Oregon. What happened? What?
Now, that was embarrassing.
What happened?
Because I think it's called coaching. Because Oregon beat Ohio State, right? Before in the regular season.
Yes.
But that was a one play.
But it's called coaching.
A win is a win. Yeah, of course. Oregon won.
Yeah, what adjustments can we make so this don't happen again? And doggone it, Ohio State made them adjustments, treated them boys like they knew what they were going to be doing before they even knew what they were going to be doing. Like on defense, everything that Oregon tried to do, Ohio State is almost like it's almost like Oregon said, "Hey, we're about to run this play." Okay, cool. And they was there waiting for him, like offense from the passing and running. It was crazy.
It was ugly. I'm a Michigan fan, go blue, but Ohio State destroyed Oregon and Ryan Day. He's so sick of everybody telling him about. He's so sick of everybody talking to him about Michigan. That he had to really buckle down. They were saying out loud, if he lose again, he gonna get fired. What he did to Oregon it kept his job, even with his 3 losses to Michigan. That Oregon win was huge, and I have to say, even though I'm a root for Notre Dame hard, I don't think they could beat Ohio State. I don't think they can.
Ohio State is the best team right now in this playoff in college football. Only in this playoff because they played the best football so far. Well, Notre Dame got too many players missing right now. And the other thing, too, their passing game is not great. And you got to be able to pass the ball down the field.
Oh, yeah, that boy you can't do 170. You can't do 170 for the whole game against the Buckeyes, dog. That's gonna kill you.
No. And I think this, too, about the playoffs. I wasn't intrigued with the playoffs this year. I don't like the way they seeded teams because it shouldn't have been Ohio State playing Oregon that quick. It should have been really them playing maybe Indiana or Boise State. So
it's like what you said, Dave, and I thought about it so hard that the committee is going to have to figure out because that Boise State game wasn't fun. That it was a bunch of games that I was like, oh man, they could have, but they'll figure that out.
The only game that was really great was the Arizona. I mean, I ain't gonna say great. Only half was the Arizona State game against Texas.
Right,
to me, that was the best game. So
out of all of them,
they'll make adjustments. They'll make adjustments, man. It's the first year. But let me say something about Notre Dame. We all 3 agree Ohio State's the better football team, and they should win this game. They should win the game pretty easy. But something about that Notre Dame, that heart. They don't go away.
Big heart.
They don't go away, man. They got to the national championship. They earned it, obviously. Everybody
clowned them all year. Like, man. Notre Dame be in the top 10 and fall off. They never did.
They revived Rudy. This Notre Dame team is very I'm picking Ohio State too, but that Notre Dame team, they're a real unique, interesting team that you can't just sleep on, bro.
If Ohio State make mistakes, they'll lose.
Yeah.
But the way they did Oregon, Oregon just looked like that. I was like, Oregon, y'all just got exposed as being fluky.
And they really dominated Texas. If it wasn't for their mistakes as far as penalties, they were moving the ball up and down the field on Texas. But the penalties kept Texas in the game, gave them hope. So to me, I can't pick Notre Dame. I like Notre Dame, but I can't pick them. Ohio State is the best team right now in college football.
Shout out to the first Black/Asian coach to make it into the college football playoffs. But them little titles, they don't mean nothing till you win. The first Black Asian, who you talking about? Tiger Woods? What we talking about? Like none of that mattered, dog, till you win.
Marcus Freeman, baby.
And he went to Ohio State. So he's playing his old school.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the storyline.
Yeah,
one of the storylines.
Play linebacker.
All right. Well, McValue is a new way to experience your McDonald's must-haves and get more than you expect every single day, man. Here's how it works. Buy an item from the McValue menu and add an item for just $1. At breakfast, you can get a sausage burrito and add sausage biscuit for just $1. Or get a sausage McMuffin and add a hash brown for just $1. There's all kinds of combinations. Same thing for the rest of the day. You can buy a 6-piece McNuggets and add a double cheeseburger for just $1. Buy a McChicken and add small fries for just $1. And that's not all. The $5 meal deal is part of the McValue 2. That gets you a McChicken or a McDouble and a 4-piece McNuggets and a small fries and a drink just for $5. It all means you can do more than ever with your McDonald's money. Prices and participation may vary. McDouble meals, $6 in some markets. Meal deal for a limited time only. BOGO, $1 valid for item of equal or lesser value. There it is, man. Can we shift gears into the NFL now? Because y'all already know.
Let's talk about these coaches. Let's talk about these coaches. Then I want to bring on our guests. But go ahead. I know what you got. Mike McCarthy in his one eye is out of Dallas. I was pretty shocked because they waited a week later to fire dude. Antonio Pierce got fired. AP, we kind of really saw that coming. Mike Vrabel gets the head coaching job in New England, where that's his alma mater, but Mayo played there too, and they fired him after one season. But go ahead, talk about what they talking about right now, Rock.
Deion Primetime Sanders, Coach Prime, if you don't know who I'm talking about, head coach of Colorado, and him and Jerry Jones been having some conversations.
Just a conversation.
Just conversations. That's fair. That's fair. But they're having conversations. I like that. So will he become the next Dallas Cowboy head coach?
No.
I'll go first on this one. I doubt it, but here's the deal. This is prime time. This is prime teasy. He loves the spotlight. He always shines in the spotlight. There ain't no brighter shine than Dallas Cowboys in the head coaching position.
You're right.
So the only way that Deion Sanders will become the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion, and this is a long shot, is Jerry Jones would have to sit his butt down, turn over the reins to Prime, and let him do it his way. If he can't give him that, Prime is going to stay right there with his kickstand, let down in Colorado. It is what it is.
You don't think
the only way.
You don't think them other Hall of Fame coaches wanted Jerry to turn around and shut up? He's not, dog. He's not gonna. That's what he do. And then here go the bad part. You fire McCarthy. Y'all rebuild.
No, it's not a fire. They need.
You told me that's right. His contract was done. They just didn't renew it. Yeah. But now y'all rebuilding. You ain't got a running back. You ain't got it. I mean, Dak been hurt for the last 2 seasons. Shout out to Cooper Rush, who came in and was the perfect second stringer. But man, the Cowboys is rebuilding, and they rebuilding at a bad time because the Eagles is fresh, the Commanders is fresh, and if the Giants get Deion's son, they're gonna be fresh too. So. To me, I hate when when coaches get fired if you don't have a plan. Like, what's the plan? We're not going to renew them, but then who we going to get, though? Like, who's out there right now? Everybody talking about the defensive coach from your team, the Detroit Lions. But dude can't go everywhere. And then if I'm him, why would I leave a situation that sweet? Who are we to say he even want to be a head coach?
Troy Aikman said it best. I mean, this is my team, and Troy Aikman said it best. This Dallas Cowboys, even though they are a big brand, and people
the biggest one in the world.
Either you love them or you hate them. But the bottom line with the Cowboys is you got to deal with Jerry Jones. And I think any coach that comes in, if it's not Jimmy Johnson or Bill Parcells, Jerry's not going to listen to anybody because he's the GM. Because when this thing blows up to where it may look good down the line to where they win a championship, he wants to take all credit. And believe me, he wants to show Jimmy Johnson, even though they get along now, I'm a football guy, because that's what Jimmy thought. He wasn't a football guy.
Well, the problem right now, do y'all watch The Landman? Have you watched The Landman on Paramount Plus? Dog, Jerry Jones was on it. It's about oil in Texas, and it's from the same dude who wrote The Lioness and Yellowstone. So it's a good series. But Jerry Jones was on it, and I said, look at Jerry getting his acting on. Like
he was good. He was good.
Yeah.
He was really good. He really was.
Well, I think he's been acting as a GM and owner for these many years. He's an amazing businessman. Like, I would do business with Jerry Jones in a heartbeat.
I want to give him credit for what you just said. He's an amazing businessman, but I take that away now, because if he's an amazing businessman, he would fire the GM. Correct?
You messing, but it ain't the GM his son?
No, he's the GM. You gotta fire yourself.
You gotta fire yourself, dog. But here's the deal, man. Just stay away from Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. Stay away from my coaches in Detroit. We all know most coordinators, 99% of coordinators that do want to be head coaches one day. So I get it. They're at the top of the list. After this season, those are going to be 2 coordinators that I wouldn't be surprised if Dan Campbell loses both of them.
I don't think Jerry wants Ben Johnson, because it's almost like starting over. It has to be somebody. I don't know if he wants to go with a name because you look at
who's the name? Give me 2 names right now.
Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson.
No, outside of them 2.
No.
Who else?
Kellen Moore.
Oh, you know who else? You know who else came up? Your guy, Gruden came up too.
John Gruden.
John Gruden came up.
The couch, Gruden would come back for sure.
Yes, sir. John Gruden came up.
Gruden. I don't want Gruden. I saw what he did to the Raiders. I don't want Gruden.
Gruden got a high football IQ. Leave that man alone.
Listen, John Gruden built 2 powerhouses, so you got to give him. You got to give him some respect.
Wait, hold on. What did he build? He took Tony Dungy's team.
He built the Raiders before he went to Tampa Bay. He was with the Raiders
when he was the youngest coach, and
when he had Gannon and all them. Like, come on, y'all.
But Davis saying
2 franchises, right?
What's that?
He also destroyed 2 franchises, Tampa and the Raiders.
Well, he got what's his name, Super Bowl.
But that was with Tony Dungy guys, and then once those
Tony.
guys,
No, that's what he said. He got Tony Dungy Super Bowl.
Okay,
absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. McValue is a new way to experience your McDonald's must-haves and get more than you expect every single day, man. Here's how it works. Buy an item from the McValue menu and add an item for just $1 at breakfast. You can get a sausage burrito and add sausage biscuit for just $1. Or get a sausage McMuffin and add a hash brown for just $1. There's all kinds of combinations. Same thing for the rest of the day. You can buy a 6-piece McNuggets and add a double cheeseburger for just $1. Buy a McChicken and add small fries for just $1. And that's not all. The $5 meal deal is part of the McValue 2. That gets you a McChicken or a McDouble and a 4-piece McNuggets and a small fries and a drink just for $5. It all means you can do more than ever with your McDonald's money. Prices and participation may vary. McDouble meals, $6 in some markets. Meal deal for a limited time only. BOGO, $1 valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Well, speaking of the playoffs and the Raiders and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who lost a ladies and gentlemen, we got a special guest. This brother went to the University of Miami. He murdered the Raiders for 2 seasons. When he was with the Broncos, he was one of the most funnest players in the Washington Redskins history, giving interviews, Pro Bowler, future Hall of Famer, I'll say it, Clinton Portis, y'all.
CP in the building?
What's good, man? Appreciate you all having me.
Come on, man.
Let me just ask one thing off gate. The Commanders, which is probably hard for you to even say, haven't been to the playoffs since you've been there. You like their chances against Detroit?
I mean, that's tough. You know, it's a tough environment going into, but the way they're playing at this point, they're playing good team ball. You know, Jaden Daniels is one of those guys that I think everyone is just following his lead. And with that being said, anything is possible. You know, it's going to be a tough environment to go in and win, but that team is vibing right now. And it's been a long time since we saw that. It's been a long time since the city has been this electric. The way the fans showed up down in Tampa, like anything is possible.
Well, you mentioned the city being electric, Clinton, and as a Detroiter myself, as the Detroit Lions.
Why are you trying to find the right words, dog?
Yeah, I just got to be real. You know, you my boy, CP, but the electricity in Washington is the power's about to go out, dog.
This is the first time I've been excited to tell somebody he was from Detroit. This is
what up, though?
Like, we didn't know. We wouldn't have known that until this year. Until Dan came in. He was not repping at 0-16. He was not repping.
Yes, I was. I was. I was the clown.
Hey, Clinton, here's what's funny, dog. Everybody was clowning me. When they was 0-16, he was getting clowned by everybody.
Come on, dog.
He a real Lion fan. Win, lose. I'm Raider Nation with mine. So we in the same predicament. But Clinton, I wanted to ask you, as a running back, who do you like? Like, who do you like in the NFL? And did you really like that boy from Boise State?
So to answer the first one, in the NFL, I think Saquon is having an unbelievable. I think Derrick Henry is having an unbelievable season. I think both of those guys were kind written off as washed up and done with. The running back's position was diminished, the words that they use, and both of those guys ended up in the perfect situation. I mean, for Saquon going to the Eagles, like you couldn't have written a better script,
Nope.
And the most impressive to me was Derrick Henry, because I didn't believe after Tennessee that he would have that in his tank. After you've been a staple somewhere for so long and you got to pick up and start over. Like, I want to go to Dallas, but I end up in Baltimore. That's one of those situations you like, man, I'm finishing my career. For him to go 5 and for them to be playing the way that they're playing, the 1-2 of Lamar Jackson and Henry, like, that's amazing to me. It's like a must watch. I think in my day, a lot of games was kind of must watch. Like, I got to sit down and see this battle. It's going to be hard-nosed. It's going to be physical. Like, I'm glued to the TV. I think that was one of those games every Sunday that you saw Baltimore and whomever they were playing. So I think one of the must watches in football is watching the Ravens, just everything about them. You want to sit down. You're kind of glued to the TV. You know what time they're playing over your team. And then when you look at the Eagles, for all the obstacles that they had this year, the turbulence on offense with Brown and Hurts, Saquon stayed quiet, stayed solid, stayed balling the entire time. So when you look at those two guys, you got to tip their hat. My fantasy running back was Christian McCaffrey, who went down. It hurt us all because San Fran.
Madden curse.
Yeah, San Fran would be in the action if he was available. Then when you look at these other guys, there's so many guys. Jahmyr Gibbs is playing like crazy.
Yeah.
And, what he's capable of with ball in hand, just what he brings to the game. The teams that's left, period, all got a running back. You look at Cook up in Buffalo to come in and week in, week out. Last week he did his thing, Josh Allen playing the way that he's playing. So a lot of these running backs are that's supposed to be washed up, that's been casted out. I think majority of the running backs that still left came from somewhere else. You look at Eckler with the Commanders. These are guys who came to new systems and revived themselves.
Yeah.
Revive their career. So when we talk about the young backs, I like Genty. I like Scatterboy as well. Like, I think, bro, I didn't.
That's a dog right there, bro.
So Clinton, why do you think the GMs and the owners were trying to diminish the running back position?
Well, everybody believed they got a top tier quarterback. When you look at when you go back, just say to my day, when you had Peyton and Brady and Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers, where you had the top 8, top 6 to 8 quarterbacks in the NFL that were throwing the ball. All of a sudden, all 32 quarterbacks are top. Everybody get 40 opportunities a game as a quarterback, whether you trash or not. You get 40 opportunities to throw it to nobody. You even have a receiver, or you don't have a downfield guy. You don't have this, you don't have that. But the way the league transition is, you're throwing the ball around. So it would look like the running back position isn't important because running back went to by committee. You don't have many Derrick Henrys. You don't have the Saquon wasn't working out in New York because he was kind of banged up with injury. And all of a sudden, at this point in his career, he going to play a full season, So people weren't expecting that. And when you look at that wave, the running backs just was kind of overlooked. You already removed the fullbacks. Look at the teams that's left. They got fullbacks that can come downhill. I think that's where the Commanders going to struggle in going to Detroit. If the game is close, you just went to Tampa. You had the ball on the goal line and couldn't push it in.
Man.
If you get to Detroit with that same mentality, Detroit go for it on 4th down as well. They're going to take chances. They're going to leave you on the field. You need a fullback to kind of clear the way. You got to be able to go get 1 yard at any point,
Come on.
Week in, week out. So when you look at a lot of these guys and when you look at a lot of these teams, it's kind of the system. You line up in shotgun. You line up on shotgun on 1 or inches. There's no way. I wish my coach would have said, let's go to shotgun, or
Right.
Shotgun on the goal line. We probably would have been over there.
Well, I don't know if you saw that college playoff game with Texas and Ohio State, and they had 4 chances at the goal line, and on second down, I think it was second down, they pitched it to the outside, 7 yards back. Why would you do that?
Yeah, if you can't, go ahead, Clinton.
Because you can't get downhill. The way these linemen are set up, they're set up to pull. They're not set up to maul. If you look at the blocking schemes in football, you don't have all these double teams. With us, hey, bro, when you get down to the goal, when you get to the 10 or the at least the 6, hey, we're going goal line from here. Let's bring it in all the heavies. This mono a mono is we're not trying to fool you. Everybody else trying to fool you. Like, and exploit mismatches. I was looking at Minnesota when they played Detroit and how complicated it was for Minnesota to get the ball to Justin Jefferson. Like, you can't make the game that hard. And if they get the ball, Darnold missed a couple of those throws, but that complication, like not being able to just hand the ball off. If I got 4 tries from inside the 5 and my running back can't get me a yard or 2 each carry, get him up out of here.
Man.
Come on, dog. You preaching. So
Period.
Real quick, man, we talk a lot about the landscape of college football with the NIL now and the portal leveling the playing field. Your thoughts on that? What's your opinion on the NIL and the portal?
If you could have got $2 million and these boys is getting $3-4 million in college, Clinton, but come on.
I love it, but I want to see what you got. See, people talk to me.
I think the guys that's getting the 3-4 millions play quarterback. Of course, everybody is looking for a coveted quarterback and trying to find one to put in their system to kind of take their team off. So for those young guys, it's amazing. I mean, as a quarterback, I'm in school for 5 years. Damn the draft. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Come on, dog.
$20 million over 5 years. I'm here, and whoever else need me, I'm going to play with them and go ask for a red shirt year. But when you look at that position, when you look at the other guys in the portal, that's just as important. I mean, if you're paying the quarterbacks that much, you got to say the wide receiver is the next thing you're looking for. But in reality, you got to protect them. So the O-line, the O-line is going to be getting that kind of money as well. So it's just getting to the point that it's just like being in the NFL. You're going to have a salary cap. And
that's what we said. We've been saying that for weeks.
I just hope they don't figure it out before my sons come through.
I know that's right, dog. I know that's right, dog.
But does it hurt the game to know that I don't look at it as NIL anymore? I look at it as pay to play, because most of these kids are looking for money. And my opportunity, if I don't get an opportunity to get money here, I'm jumping off. I don't care if it's Miami. I don't care if it's Ohio State. But if I got a better opportunity, somebody's throwing money at me, I'm going somewhere else. How do you build a team like that?
Well, it definitely hurts the game. I think so many of these kids shy away from competition. Let's just call a spade a spade. So many of these kids are afraid of competition, and if they don't have it their way, they're out. I think
exactly
portal opportunities. Maybe you should be able to get in the portal, just say once or twice, and you should be able to do it yearly. Like, you can move around twice in 1 year. So I think that's crazy. That's outrageous, because if you go somewhere, you haven't even given it a chance to work and you're out. So I think maybe you should have 1, maybe 2 opportunities in the portals. And to get in the portal, you should have to have a place already in place. Like, to cut out this tampering or guys jumping in the portal and don't know where they're going to end up and end up not playing again. I think in order to jump in the portal, when you put your name in the portal, you should have to have a home. And with that being said, an agreement already in place for these guys to go somewhere, because so many guys jump in the portal every year and then don't get signed, and football is over for them. So you went from 5-star to Powden to now you're watching.
That's what people don't see. What you just said, people don't see that. People think that once these guys get in the portal, everybody's getting picked up. Everybody's not getting picked up.
It's kind of like free agency.
Guys are going home, and I'm not getting in the portal to go from Alabama to Jackson State. I don't care how much.
But you know that's happening, though.
I would go from HBCU to Alabama, but I'm not going from Alabama to HBCU. Like,
right.
The lifestyle, the living is totally different. The adjustment, the adjustment to the availability to travel, going from first class to crop
to a junior high school bus.
Yeah,
Tupelo, Mississippi.
And I think a lot of these kids just goes back to the competition. It goes back to I think when you look at the landscape of coaches now, these guys, a lot of the coaches were underachievers, and they're kind of living their dream through the kids now. And when you get a kid that's talented, or when you get a kid that's popular, when you get a kid that's getting it, you're just trying to attach and be cool with him. And we're missing that hard coaching. We're missing that real talk. We're missing that you get your ass out here and grind instead of everything is given to you. And I think 7-on-7 plays a role in that, and not having a loyalty to any one program. In high schools, you're switching. In college, you're switching. In 7-on-7, you bouncing around. So it's just one of those adjustments that we all have to make. And you don't want to make it. Like, for me, I'm like, man, I'm thugging it out. I'm riding it out, whatever it is. But at the same time, you got to do what's best for the kids and the family. So if I see my kids not succeeding in this arena, I can't leave them there to suffer. It's like, man, we gotta make this move. Although I don't want to, we have to, because whatever. But I think a lot of these situations, you're getting into, I don't think all the research is done, or it's not what, the facade around it. It's not what it's made out to be.
That's real.
Get there. It's like a lot of us don't realize, when you're going through recruitment, boy, they're telling you anything and whatever to get you there. All these coaches come talk to you, and all these coaches call, and it's like whatever. And then when you get on that campus, the person that you need to have a relationship with is your position coach.
Come on. Come on now, preach.
That's the voice you're going to hear. That's the relationship you got to mend. And if you all don't hit it off, you're like, oh, man, the DC was talking to me. The head coach was talking to me. Shit, the head coach will walk right by you to go to a press conference. Like, acknowledge, like, up on the line. You're not here for his job. He don't give a damn.
Clinton, I'm going to ask you this last question, man. We're going to make our picks. You were a freshman who started in one of the biggest conferences in college. You played in some of the biggest stadiums as a little boy, as a freshman, dog. And so you never fell off. Like, you were sweet as a freshman, you were sweet as a sophomore, you were sweet till you went to. How did that get your mentality ready to be in the NFL?
I think it was an underdog. Coming out, everybody wanted me to play DB, and I chose the path of RB. And then when I get to Miami, edge was still on the list. You got James Jackson, Najee Davenport that's already put in work. And
hey,
I get on campus, I arrive with Jared Payton, Walter Payton's son. So all of the attention was always somewhere else for me. And it was just one of those, okay, they overlook at me, I'll show you, So throughout my freshman year, James Jackson told me straight up, like, hey, young buck, I determine when you play. And that was always fuel to my fire. Like, and control my opportunities. And me and him used to bet, like, every game, hey, boy, I bet you $50 I outrush you. I bet you $100 that I have more yards than you. And like he said, I might get 6 carries. He might get 18 to 20 carries. But that bet's still in play. And now I got to go out and do with 6 carries.
Come on, y'all.
Locked in on the game, like seeing how this flowing. I'm standing on the sideline like, ooh, boy, he just ran stretch. He could have popped that outside, or he had to cut back right here. Okay, when they call it for me, I'm out of here, So it was just one of those. Then you get Willis and Frank Gore, in the same backfield, in the same locker room.
Dang, that's right.
Where do I get chilled at? Like, well, you got some young go-getters, like, and these boys had it, you know. Then you get to the NFL. I'm in a locker room. TD was the man, you know, and then you got Mike Anderson and Orlando Gary in that same locker room. So I was always surrounded and loaded with talent. It was always competition for me, and I think that's where my career, just being able to compete, not shying away from competition, like looking for that work and not even worrying about opportunity. A lot of guys at this stage, like, I don't want you to see the other guy. I don't care what you see in the other guy. Like, I want to see the other guy because I want to see what he got and where I need to improve.
That's a grown man.
Let me tell you something, bro.
That's a grown man, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me ask you this, because you see this on Instagram and everybody throws this out after a team wins a national championship and they want to say, well, is this the best team ever? When you look at that 2001 Miami team that went undefeated with you on it, with Ed Reed on it. I go down to German Shockey, Doris, go down the list. Was that the best team in basketball history?
Hey, the only team that I would say had the opportunity to be better was the 2000 Hurricanes. And we went and slipped on Washington. And that's the reason that this team isn't mentioned. We went to Washington. We had the big head. We felt like we have arrived, like they're going to lay down. And they ended up. But that 2000 team, you got to add Santana Moss, Reggie Wayne, Dan Morgan, Al Blades. Like, those guys were on the 2000 team. Those guys won the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Wow. And then because we realized, like, after that game, like, man, this should have been a national championship. And we're just like, when we weren't even excited about winning the Sugar Bowl. That's what we won the Sugar Bowl. We beat Florida, and probably within the next week, everybody was back on campus with that. Hey, man, we got cheated. We should have had a national championship. Like, lock in, let's focus. We're gonna win this shit this year, you know. And that's what made that team. That's what made that team even better. But I think the best team would hands down be the 01. A lot of teams are, oh man, we LSU or this team. Man, we would have mollywopped them people.
Y'all had 17. Y'all had 17 first rounders. 17.
And let's not forget about the rules. Like, the rules nowadays are a little bit more softer than back then. So
not a little bit.
It's not even close. Like, you know what I'm saying? So teams from back in your era and even beyond before that, it's a whole different kind of game now.
Everybody talk about all the skill players we had, and nobody really gives the credit to. We had two of the best players in the trenches of all time. On offense, we had Bryant McKinney, and on defense, we had Vince Wilfork. So who you talking about was a dog. Whoever you talking about was an animal. What they wasn't met. Vince Wilfork was one of the nastiest, one of the most athletic, one of the best players that I ever seen. And then at Miami, where he had that attitude before he got to New England and got into the New England way, like, this was a ninja, you know. This was so when you look at that, when you look at the guys that we had, it was just like Philip Buchanan. Man, Philip Buchanan don't get the credit he deserved. Gangster, you know, cold gangster. Jonathan Vilma, DJ Williams at linebacker. Like, what you
think? I forgot
Bill was there. I forgot Bill was there.
Yeah, and then we lost, you know, God bless the dead. We lost Chris Campbell. Chris Campbell was one of our best players, you know, one of our most physical players on the defensive side of the ball. And then offensively, you're talking about Shockey, and his backup was Kellen Winslow. You know?
Come on, dog.
Jeez. Now, for the people that's listening to the show going, if you don't recognize none of those names, good. Ask your uncle. That's a grown man. Every single person he named. I'm sitting here going, they all was at Miami. That's right.
Y'all lost y'all head coach after that Sugar Bowl, right? Y'all lost Butch Davis after the Sugar Bowl.
Butch Davis left. Butch Davis left and Ed Reed stayed. And that was a game changer. Reed staying in school, because everybody respected Reed. Everybody respected Reed grind. We all knew we had something special. And Reed could have left. Reed could have left with Santana and went to the draft. And he stayed that extra year. And his leadership, just everything about it. Reed gonna go down as one of the greatest defensive players of all time.
Period.
Nasty.
Greatest
Nasty.
defensive players of all.
Period.
So when you look at that, you got a young Sean T behind. Like, you got a young Sean T sitting over here behind Reed. And, everybody say Dorsey. Oh, man, y'all quarterback was Dorsey. Dorsey was the perfect quarterback for us because he was smart enough to know this isn't about me. I got gangsters. Let me get this ball out my hand and watch. It wasn't I'm trying to I got to go out here and do X, Y, Z.
That's right.
Man, Dorsey get the ball out of his hand. He was so smart, and that's why he's an OC and possibly up for a head coaching job at some point. But he get the ball out of his hand, put it in his playmaker's hands, and that's the way football is supposed to be played. He don't need to duck under somebody and a spin move and then throw the ball down the field 70 yards. Not going to work.
How was the parties after each win that year?
Strip club. That's the only place we could get into. So we were too young, and we didn't have money to go to South Beach. A lot of these,
right. Keep it real.
Yeah, a lot of these kids are caught up in the lifestyle. They getting paid, so they outside. You got the fancy car. Like, we had too much pride. I had a 87 Camry.
Come on,
dog.
87 Camry. I remember we went to South Beach in a Chevy, and it was myself, Philip Buchanan, and Larry Anderson, my suite mates. And Phil and Larry, try to, hey, we see some girls. Phil and Larry try to, hello, how y'all doing? The girls took off running. Like, it was like one of those moments that you look at the landscape and you like, they running? Like, and you look around, you like, man, this Bentleys, Benzes, and Beamers out here.
Dan.
We young, 18, 19, thinking we doing it. Like, man, these people scared of us. They think we up to something. Like, we trying to rob them, not realizing we just ball players trying to make it. So, I think at that time, South Beach was more prestigious.
Yeah. And
it was just one of those, we were in grind mode. And because of Coach Davis leaving, it was like a responsibility, like everybody was responsible for each other. So you did everything as a team. It wasn't that, this little clique over here and we separate. Like, we might turn it up in the locker room. We probably just finished fighting. But once we get outside, everybody come too. Like, man, we the Canes, we in house. Like, get this done.
And what about the Canes today? Because I know your son committed to the Canes, correct?
Yeah, my son committed. I think they are building something. I think Coach Cristobal has something going on and trying to get the youth back to that golden age that we just discussed. And everything that they're doing around there is to make this team one of the best in the country. I think Cam Ward put a spotlight on us to highlight and showcase, like, hey, the youth still got it. Like, the youth could still be a destination. It's just that failure. You lose 2 games in 3 weeks when we could have locked it in and kind of changed the college football landscape. We got to win those games. You can't lose the game to Georgia Tech. You can't lose to Syracuse.
Right.
You got to win the games that you're supposed to win, which we had did that throughout the season, but kind of staggered off. So my son is just in a position where he's excited, like he want to go. He sees the potential, and his mom went there. I went there. So, the background, he's been a youth fan.
Legacy.
Life, yeah, the legacy that's there. And I told him, he's like, man, I want to create my legacy. I want to do this. I said, man, listen, if you want to create a legacy, you probably need to go to FIU or FAU.
Yeah.
When you talking about going to the U to fulfill the footsteps that's been left from
that your daddy's made.
What I've done, it's totally different. Like, it's totally different. That's putting pressure on you. So he was up for the challenge. I think he's a strong-minded individual, like a good kid, and he's looking for work. And I hope throughout these 16 years, if I've taught him anything, is that you got to compete. And
Come on.
knowing
Yes,
that you
sir.
got, we're not going into no situation where we land at is, well, we trying to ride the wave. Unless it's just not working, and something go wrong, or the coaching staff change or something. But wherever we land, we riding it out. We fighting. Like, it's not one of those, oh man, okay, let's try this. You look at some of these kids, it's arrow, arrow, arrow every year. Every year they somewhere new. We're not trying to do that. We want this team and NFL draft.
I love
Straight
it.
up. Ladies
Man.
and gentlemen, Clinton Portis, get ready for another Portis at the U. Man, thank you for sitting in with us, man. We got a couple games to go over. We putting you in our picks. Let's do the Ravens and the Bills first.
McValue is a new way to experience your McDonald's must-haves and get more than you expect every single day, man. Here's how it works. Buy an item from the McValue menu and add an item for just $1 at breakfast. You can get a sausage burrito and add sausage biscuit for just $1. Or get a sausage McMuffin and add a hash brown for just $1. There's all kinds of combinations. Same thing for the rest of the day. You can buy a 6-piece McNuggets and add a double cheeseburger for just $1. Buy a McChicken and add small fries for just $1. And that's not all. The $5 meal deal is part of the McValue 2. That gets you a McChicken or a McDouble and a 4-piece McNuggets and a small fries and a drink just for $5. It all means you can do more than ever with your McDonald's money. Prices and participation may vary. McDouble meals, $6 in some markets. Meal deal for a limited time only. BOGO, $1 valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Super Dave, who you got?
Give me the Ravens.
Ooh.
I got to go with Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. They got their – if they run the ball like they're supposed to, they keep the ball away from Josh Allen. They win that game that way.
Rock T?
What a game at? Who at home?
It's in
They're
Buffalo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Listen, I'm rooting for Lamar. I'm rooting for Lamar Jackson. I think this is the year mentally that he gets over that hump of he's definitely MVP this year, in my opinion. Whew, going to Buffalo. I'm going with Josh. I'm going with Buffalo, man. I think Buffalo gonna find a way to win this game.
Doug, I'm also going with Josh. I like Lamar, what they put 300 yards rushing total on the Steelers, and that's a team they done played 3-4 times this year, it felt like. But Buffalo is on. The way nobody talking about Buffalo, man, respect Josh Allen and them boys over there. CP.
I'm going with the Ravens, man. I just think Ravens with that 1-2 punch of Lamar and Henry. It's hard to figure that out, especially at this time of year. Buffalo is kind of built the same way that the Ravens are, but this time of year you got to run the ball. You're not throwing the ball around.
Straight up.
Ain't gonna dictate it. All of this, and I think Buffalo run game can be slowed down. So I think you tee off on Josh Allen early in that game, like you hit him. Don't let him get one of those games where he come out with 50, 75 yards rushing, and the Ravens win.
Good. Let's go to the Chiefs and the Texans. It's the youngins versus the old dude. CP, who you got?
I like the Chiefs, man. They just find a way, and at the end, they elevate their play. That week off for a lot of teams would disrupt the rhythm, but that week off for the Chiefs gonna get you some guys back healthy, some guys that's gonna be important to this game. And then you got Patrick Mahomes, so he always gonna figure it out, and they cool with winning by one. It don't have to be.
They real cool. Yeah, they real cool.
But like, hey, let's keep this close. We got one of the best kickers. We got one of the best quarterbacks. We got one of the best tight ends. D-Hop, one of the best receivers. And I think D-Hop showed up real big playing against this former team.
Super Dave.
I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. Everything CP just said, he made it clear. They don't win big, but they find a way to win. And as long as that game is close and you got Patrick Mahomes, just like we thought about Tom Brady, back in the day. As long as you got Patrick Mahomes and the game is close, who you looking at? I'm looking at Kansas City. Plus, the Kansas City got a defense. They got a pretty good defense. We can't forget that. It's not just Mahomes. It is that defense.
The Texans ain't sorry. Shout out to their coach. And they got a boy on defense. They got one of the freshest quarterbacks ever out of Ohio State. But I'm going with the Chiefs too. And I hate to pick the Chiefs being a Raider fan, but dog, Patrick Mahomes is football Jesus. Period.
Yeah.
He can run to the right and throw it 60 yards to the left on a dime. Like, you can't. CJ want to be Patrick Mahomes when he grow up. So, and not saying Houston is next. They close. But the Chiefs got this going to be the year where Kelsey can say, win this Super Bowl, I retire. I'm about to take this $300 million that Disney gave me and my brother, and we about to do nothing. How about that? Who you got, Rock?
You know, we always used to say never bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs. That goes the same with Patrick Mahomes. I got KC.
Yeah. Done deal. Let's go Lions and Commanders. Former Redskin, you first.
You know, I just think this is a hard game for us. We're a young team. Although I love the poise, I love the energy, I love what the coach is doing. It's going to be a tough environment to walk into Detroit when those guys are the way that they're playing. For Aaron Glenn and for Ben Johnson to have these opportunities to be a head coach, I don't see either one of them laying down. I think Aaron Glenn, if it was defensive coaches awards, coordinators awards, he should win them all. Because he's killed by the injury bug. And then you go out and you close out the way that you close out and you just filling in guys, in-game adjustments. It's been crazy all year. So to go into Detroit and get a win, you know, as much as I would love to say the Commanders win, I think that's just a tough place to play. You know, they have something special going on in Detroit, and maybe we need a couple more players a couple years out.
So and all that, let me give y'all subtitles to what he just said. He picking Detroit. As I guess it's hard for a Commander or a former Redskin to just say Detroit, but through all what he just said, he picking Detroit. Rock T, who you got?
Oh come on. Look, it should be quick.
Look. This is why I like Clinton Portis. This is about to cry. This is why I like Clinton Portis, because he humbled himself and he broke down the game plan. He gave you facts. Like, for you to have 6-7 injuries on your defense and still find a way is something that, and the culture, that Dan Campbell culture that he brought up back to Detroit is unmatched in the NFL, in my opinion. So because of that, of course, Detroit, man. I got Detroit. Let's go.
Super Dave.
Washington
gonna be a jerk and just vote against them.
Washington got their first win in 19 years in the playoffs. It's
21.
21?
21 since he was there.
2006, right? 2006 was the last time.
Man,
Washington won.
Let me tell you, Detroit is special right now. I think it's funny because the whole world is rooting for Detroit because they've been losing for so long. But then you got a whole different part of America that's like, yo, this Jaden kid is a rookie of the year. You called it a long time, Super Dave. And then the last game, the Eagles versus the Rams. Let me go first. The Rams is like they playing for the people that lost houses in the fire. If y'all let they got them, nobody saw them. Nobody, like the storyline behind the Rams, they're going to be able to run them fires and everything. But I'm actually going to take the Rams. I was not impressed with the Eagles win. Jalen looked hurt still. I think Jalen looked hurt to me. I got the Rams. CP?
I got the Rams too. Like you said, they're playing for a purpose. And what people fail to realize is the Rams were banged up the entire year. And then Nakua, like they've been man down. Just like Detroit most of the year, but now they're healthy, and their coach is just one of those coaches that he's Dan Campbell, you know. He's one of those coaches that guys love playing for. The defense is coming alive after we seen Buffalo go out and shatter that defense. They've been playing like they're coming together and they're getting help. I think them with Nakua, with Cup, with Kyron Williams, Stafford, we know what he's capable of. That's a tough offense to stop. And this Eagles defense is really good, but I like the Rams.
Super Dave.
I make it simple. I'm going with the Rams. If they play the same way they played against Minnesota
Man,
a few days ago, if they play that way, and I saw Philadelphia, not just what they did Sunday, but it's something wrong with that offense. I like Saquon Barkley. He's going to get his yards. He's going to get his points. But it's something wrong with that offense and with Jalen Hurt right now. I think it's a little bit more of Kellen Moore, who may be the next head coach of the Cowboys. That may be the problem, but that offense is not clicking right now.
Rock T, close us out, baby.
So you got what happened after Hurricane Katrina? The New Orleans Saints won the Super Bowl. They had something bigger to play for. Then Desert Storm. You had two teams that had red, white, and blue colors, the New England Patriots and the New York Giants. And it just makes sense. Everything that's going on with the LA Fires and the Rams, pick the Rams to win this game off of emotion and passion.
So then you got the Rams beat Detroit too the week after.
No, sir. Right? That's where it stops. That's when we put the fire out. That's when we put the fire out. We're going to put the fires out on that one.
Clinton, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your wisdom. Man, we rooting for your son. To see that name on a Miami jersey is just going to be dope. And I know you already talking to him about the publicity that comes with just that. And I don't even know, even if you could show him all the tapes, in his mind, do he think he better than you?
Yeah, but it's not close. Like, the one thing, you can't out-heart me. You can't out-compete me. But I think he got his golden opportunity to go and write his story, to go and create it. And I got another one that play receiver. So he going to –
Oh, man. Wow.
Let's go, dogs.
Let's go.
Dogs.
Too. So Camden is the one going to Miami, but Chaz is the one that's up. He can go. So we're going to get him somewhere, and it's going to be split time. You know how those parents.
Yeah. I love it.
You may not have time, because I got an idea for you. I got a new job for you. Everybody's talking about Nick Saban being the new commissioner for college football. The way we just talked to you today and your knowledge about college football,
I would love him in there.
I'm you to be the commissioner of college football. You know the game.
For real, dog.
It's the politics and kissing ass, man.
You say I ain't got time for that, huh?
You always been a real one, CP. Always, homie.
There it is, man.
Appreciate it, CP.
We appreciate it. How can people reach you, man? What's your IG and stuff?
Man, just at Clem Portis. I keep it simple. That's all I got is IG. At Clem.
We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I hate the homies, man. You don't know how much it means.
Yes, sir.
Triple OG, dog. Thank you so much, my friend.
Appreciate it.
That's it, y'all. You got the picks, you got CP, you got the knowledge. Man.
All of it. And we just gave you another reason to hate the homies.
You know what's so cool about Clinton Portis is I was already a fan of just his, you know what I'm saying? I want to talk to guys that was in the league in 2000 and before, and because that's when we was sitting, we was grown men, young men watching the game like, man, these dudes, but for him to be so articulate and so defined about his answers and to, I'm saying, I'm still laughing. He said his son ain't as fresh as him, but I would never want to be a running back at Miami with that last name. I would have went to Stanford.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen,
you gotta take the challenge. That's the whole point of what
Smith's son. Yeah. Didn't Emmitt Smith's son go to Texas Tech?
No, he went to Texas.
He went to Texas?
Yeah.
Oh, he went.
Oh.
Yeah,
he was at Texas. No, I don't know if he left. I don't know. He was at Texas for a year or two. I don't know if he stayed the whole time.
Okay.
With the transfer reporter, you don't know anything right now.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get up out of here, man.
He played for Texas A&M. He went to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
No, he went to Texas. He was there at Texas for a little while.
No, it was Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. Yeah, I just looked at it. Yeah.
So whose son was it? Was it Nate Newton's son that went to Texas?
Oh, he had a yes. I do remember. It's so many people who we know growing up, like Clinton Portis, who got kids that's about to be in the league. It's going to be fun. Hey, man, what a great episode to start the year. We recapped everything. I love it. Rock T, close us out, partner.
Hey, man, download, subscribe, continue to tell a friend about I Hate the Homies podcast. We'll see y'all next week. Rock Teasy is who I be.
It's your boy Griff, a.k.a. Mr. Raider Nation, a.k.a. Mr. Go Blue, a.k.a. I'm a CP fan, and I hate the homies.
It's your boy Super Dave. I'm with you. I'm a CP fan. I wasn't before because he also played for the Washington Redskins. And
he was giving y'all work too. You know, he only gave us work for 2 seasons. He gave y'all for like 9, 10.
I'm trying to tell you.
But guess what, y'all?
We don't care. Deuces.
I hate the homies.
McValue is a new way to experience your McDonald's must-haves and get more than you expect every single day, man. Here's how it works. Buy an item from the McValue menu and add an item for just $1 at breakfast. You can get a sausage burrito and add sausage biscuit for just $1. Or get a sausage McMuffin and add a hash brown for just $1. There's all kinds of combinations. Same thing for the rest of the day. You can buy a 6-piece McNuggets and add a double cheeseburger for just $1. Buy a McChicken and add small fries for just $1. And that's not all. The $5 meal deal is part of the McValue 2. That gets you a McChicken or a McDouble and a 4-piece McNuggets and a small fries and a drink just for $5. It all means you can do more than ever with your McDonald's money. Prices and participation may vary. McDouble meals, $6 in some markets. Meal deal for a limited time only. BOGO, $1 valid for item of equal or lesser value.